Update. I hurt my fiancée and lost her trust. Original post. I, male 32, proposed to my fiancée, female 39, 2 months ago and she said yes. I love her with all my heart. She's very sweet and intelligent and drop dead hot. Only problem that we were facing was that I haven't met her family because she has not had any contact with them for 20 years. And for my family, that's a red flag. Mom suggested to me that since we are engaged now, they're my family too, so we contacted them. Her mom was so sweet, and she started crying the moment I introduced myself. Her father is also very kind. They talked to me about her childhood, how wonderful and kind she always been, and it made a lot of sense what she turned up to be. I thanked them for raising such a beautiful human. I kept in touch with them and I soon met all her siblings. She has 3. Then I introduced them to my family and I was happy they got along. Mom suggested then that the next step is to invite my future in-laws to my parents' house and take my fiancé there so she could finally work on the dispute that she had with them. She never told me, and when we asked her parents, they didn't know either. When she got there, she screamed, "What are they doing here?" and ran out. I have never heard her raise her voice like this before. I ran after her, but she just drove off. I went back and apologized. Her mom was crying her eyes out, and so were her sisters. Her dad and brother looked cut up. When I went home, she was crying and packing. She told me that she needed to move out and that she was staying with her friends. I also started crying and asked her to tell me what happened. When she was 18, her brother, 19 at the time, violated her best friend's little sister, then 17. He apparently had feelings for this girl for years, but she never was interested, so one New Year party, he waited until she was very drunk and forced himself on her. He later boasted about how he finally had her, and now can move on. He got away with it, even when everybody knew he did, but there was no evidence. My fiancé tried everything to help convict him, because she was the one who overheard him boasting to his friends and discussed what he did to that girl. My fiancé's family did everything to protect him, and a year later, the girl ended herself. That broke my fiancé, who still suffers from severe depression. She said the indifference in her family's reaction when they found out about the girl's fate still makes her blood freeze in her veins. She knew she could never forgive them. The way she was talking is like this happened yesterday. I felt sick, and I wished I didn't have to ask. I have seen her brother and how proud her parents are of their only boy, who's successful and a father of 2. I apologized and begged her to stay. Told her that had she told me all this before, I would never have brought them back to her life. She said that I should have trusted her judgment, since I always boasted about how kind and just she was. She called me later and told me that she couldn't do this anymore. Today she left the ring while I was at work and took the last of her stuff. I felt like my world is turned upside down. Tell me what I should do to make her forgive me. She's so angry with me and my family, and I totally understand her. Mom says that my fiancé is being overdramatic now, and all this has happened so long ago, and we should all move on since her family still loved and wanted her back. I don't know what to do. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. The issue is, you still don't see the actual problem. Your mistake was not to underestimate what happened. Your mistakes were to not trust her judgment and going behind her back. And it's not your nor your mother's place to say if she overreacts or not. It doesn't matter if you like her family. It doesn't matter if her parents love her. You prove that you still don't get it with your last paragraph. This exactly. He literally acknowledges blaming her for his going around her back and seems to have zero self-awareness about it even in this post. She literally had no control over the situation, but Opie still wants to make it her fault. Just amazing. Yeah, when he said we, I thought he meant his fiancé and him, not his mom. Yeah, I don't blame your fiancé one bit. Your mom sounds super crazy, and I can't believe you went along with her instead of shutting her down. Sounds like Opie's ex dodged a just no mother-in-law. Good for her. This whole mess aside, his mom would have made this woman's life miserable. In what freaking world would be a healthy, functioning adult that you loved be no contact for 20 years for a silly issue? This fight should have started and ended with Opie asking his fiancé for details and her blowing up about having to explain herself. End of story. Going behind her back? WTF. Red flag is not talking to fiancé but his mother, and following his mother's advice behind his fiancé's back. Opie is an idiot. Now for the first update. Good morning. What a rough night I had after trying to read all of your comments, DMs, and messages. Filled with nightmares. I have called my fiancé before breakfast. I told her that I love her more than she even knows, and that I know she loves me. That I never in a million years thought people who loved each other this much would break up. I apologized and promised to make it up to her for the rest of my life if she gave me a second chance. I told her we can move away from our families, and I promised her that it would be the two of us from now on. Nobody will have a say in how we live our lives but us. She was crying the whole time, and I must admit that I'm not a crier myself, but I haven't stopped crying since yesterday. I hope she gives me a new chance to make it up to her. Second update. I want to start by saying I've never experienced so much hate in my life before like what I got on my post from yesterday. I'm not mad, however. I appreciate that you took my now ex-fiancé's party because she deserves all the love and support. I hurt her badly, and I can't even describe how much I regret my actions. The only thing I can say is that it was never intentionally done to hurt her. I thought I was doing something good. We are no longer together. She said that she couldn't come back from this and that she wanted to be alone now. I told her that I love her like I never loved anyone before. I have loved her for over 10 years. She said that she loved me too, but that she needed to do this on her own now. So we are done. I need a break now from everything and especially from my family. I will never blame my wretched behaviors on anybody. I chose to do the wrong thing. Nobody made me, but I still feel resentment towards everyone who helped me hurt my girl. I need to be alone now too. Thank you again. Bye. I hate to say it, but I hope Opie learns to trust those who are in his life over his parents. Opie's old enough not to listen to everything his parents say to him. At least Opie knows he has no one to blame but himself. Also, I hope Opie asks his mother why she believes avoiding a rapist is a bad thing. Dude, I just feel like Opie's using his mom to deflect blame. Only problem that we were facing was that I haven't met her family because she has not had any contact with them for 20 years. And for my family, that's a red flag. Mom suggested to me that since we are engaged now, their family too, so we contacted them. He himself said that he thought this was a red flag. So when his mom suggested it, he jumped to it and decided to go see them. His mom only ever suggests things to him. She herself never acts and does anything. I kept in touch with them and I soon met all her siblings. She has 3. Then I introduced them to my family and I was happy they got along. He keeps on being actively in contact with these people without informing his ex. He just kept it all hidden from her. At this point, his mom wasn't telling him to keep contact. He did it by himself. Mom suggested then that the next step is to invite my future in-laws to my parents' house and take my fiancé there so she could finally work on the dispute that she had with them. She never told me, and when we asked her parents, they didn't know either. Why does he at no point tell his ex what is happening? Why does he keep plotting behind her back with his mom and her family? No one is telling him to do this. No one is telling him to keep this hidden. This is all on him because he wants to get her back with her family. He's also admitted in the comments that he doesn't have that good of a relationship with his mom, and this is what's going to make him cut off for good. Like, if your relationship isn't that great, why would you listen to her? He wasn't. He was just using her as an excuse to hide behind if the ex got upset with him. But it didn't work. So now he's mad at everyone because his dumb plan failed him. Good riddance. That's what really got me from his story. He saw her family more than once. Every time he met with them, he must have lied to her about where he was. It was just one meet and greet. He saw and spoke to these people many times, and then blindsided her with an unexpected meeting. He betrayed her over and over again, and showed so much disrespect for her. I really don't understand how he thought this whole situation was going to end well. I'm sorry for both of you. Truly am. I hope this serves as a lesson for you and for everyone who reads your story. To believe your significant other when it comes to their family and to respect their boundaries. Your significant other's decisions are first. If they have a strong decision about something and they don't give you a reason, just respect it. It's a boundary. You don't have a say in that. And I hope Opie learns from this. I could never forgive something like this. I'm an assault survivor myself, and it was a family member. My mom is the only person in my family that knows, and the day she asks me to talk again to that person, she is done. You have to respect the boundaries, and to know which is your place in other person's life and decision. Wish Opie nothing but learning. Learning from this, learning about boundaries, learning to stop listening to mom and those kinds of things, learning to listen more to his partners, and learning to respect. Third update. I mentioned earlier that my fiancé's been home on sick leave. Her best friend called me now and we talked. My fiancé is pregnant and she's terminating it. She doesn't want me with her when she goes through with it. I am shattered now and I don't know if I ever can collect the pieces. How life can turn upside down in a matter of weeks. I lost everything and I only have myself to blame. Now for the fourth update. I was hesitant to make this update because you hate me so. And also I'm worried that your strong feelings of hatred will be misdirected to my fiancé. But I chose to write here the first time and I want to see it through. And hopefully people can learn from my mistakes. Plus, I'm anonymous, so yeah. I want to thank the people who reached out in my DMs. Who didn't dare to comment out of fear of being downvoted all the way down to hell. Thank you. Your support helps me not to lose my mind completely. This update is for you first and foremost because I literally can't answer all of you. My fiancé called me today after her appointment at her shrink. She asked me if I wanted to have lunch with her. She looked so sad and it broke my heart. This was the first time I saw her after she moved out. I just wanted to hug her and break down crying, ask her forgiveness, but I didn't want to make it about me, so I just kissed her cheek. She didn't talk for at least 30 minutes, just looked out of the window. I waited. Then she told me that it didn't matter that I didn't hurt her intentionally. I just did. I agreed. She started talking about her appointment with her gyno. She's 6 weeks. We have been trying for a year, but we never made a big fuss. We just thought that if it happened, it happened. But I know that she wanted a baby. And that's why her best friend told me because she was terrified that my fiancé is going to regret it. I told my fiancé that it was absolutely 100% her choice whether she wanted to keep it or not. But that she should never do it either from a place of hurt or anger. She should do it because it feels right for her. She then told me that she's going to think a little bit more. She also told me that she was ready to talk to me about her life with her family, but never in details and only in therapy sessions. She also said that she was ready to listen to me, and what made me do this stupid thing to her, but also only in therapy. She also told me that she doesn't want to move back with me and that she wanted to postpone the wedding. She refused to take the ring back and said she will ask for it when/if she thought we had a chance. She said that if we separate, she wants to know she's done everything. I told her I love her more than anything, and she said she believed me, and that she did too. We are starting therapy on Tuesday and will hopefully continue every week. I've spoken to her friend now, and she said that my fiancé looks like she's feeling a bit better after our lunch, and that she even made a joke. So I'm hopeful. Now for more comments before the last update. Since you're treading lightly with this new potential second chance, I'd highly recommend you stop talking to her friend about her behind her back. If she finds out you've been getting intel on her emotional state from someone close to her after she specifically said she wanted to do this healing separately and in therapy only, that would be another blow. Hope you learned your lesson with not allowing your mom to meddle, but you might be making another mistake here with a friend that could come back and bite you. She needs to know she can trust you to keep things between you two sacred. Nip it in the bud. This, literally just stop doing things behind her back. Having her wedding and pregnancy ruined, and having to face her family after 20 years, and they were together for 10 years. I get we all make mistakes, but I can't even imagine how awful she feels. This is your mulligan to make things right. Do not ever let your mother influence or interfere with your relationship like that again, whether it's with her or your next relationship. If it ever comes down to picking between her or your mother, always think about the moment you almost lost your fiancé. In fact, do not even tell your mother. Now for the last update. Look, before you start the attack on me, also leave my baby alone. We are keeping them. I just want you to know that I love my girl. I have loved her for years. Even before we got together and when she finally agreed to go out with me, I started looking for rings. I have never done anything to hurt her before. She knows this, and I appreciate that she took it into consideration before throwing me out of her life. What I did was unforgivable, but sometimes good things can come from a bad situation. In our case, she will never have to carry that burden alone. I can finally share her secret and support her. After her initial feelings of anger and betrayal have calmed down, I can see that she's tortured. And while she has been in therapy for years, she still has a long way left, or if she comes to terms with what happened. I'm just glad that I can continue this journey with her. So we had our first session with a therapist and it was emotionally draining. I hated seeing her so hurt, but I realized how important it was. I always view her as this beautiful, stubborn, strong creature, and maybe I have handled her accordingly. She is tough, so I can be tough. You get me? Beside therapy, she has asked for space, and I would have obliged had she not called every night to talk for hours. How cute is that? Last night, I asked her to move back, and she didn't hang up. She didn't answer me first, and we continued talking about other things. Before saying goodnight, she told me that she wanted to come home. We will continue therapy, but she is moving back tomorrow, and that's why I'm making this update now. When she's home, I don't want to be busy answering comments. Since we both have no relationship with our families, we are contemplating an elopement around Christmas. A wedding seems too excessive and waste of money, planned for August next year. Instead, we could do something small and romantic for our friends and maybe donate the rest of the budget. This idea excited her very much, and she already started planning and dreaming while I listened. I just freaking love this woman. This is a weird one. Couples working and solving their issues is a great thing. But this guy made such a grave violation of his fiancée's trust. I can't help but wonder when the next one will be. Yep, he realized he messed up only because what the family did was so egregious. But what if it wasn't so black and white? Like maybe they just favored her siblings more and made her feel bad about herself. Or something he didn't consider serious? Either way, he didn't respect her right to choose for herself. Figured he knew better, and that he had a right to go against her wishes as long as he thought he had a good reason for it. He doesn't acknowledge that that's the part where he messed up, only that it was bad because of what her family did. He's going to do it again the next time he thinks he's got a good reason, because he doesn't respect her or her right to decide for herself. Or what can I do to make her forgive me? He's a slimy, spineless POS, and I'm sad for the fiancé who may now be trauma-bonded and can't see past his BS. Also, the amount that he puts her on a pedestal and calls her a creature is freaking sickening. He doesn't see her as a person, only as a trophy and a possession. To hell with Opie's mom, and damn that poor fiancé's family especially. I wonder how long Opie will be able to keep his mom out of his life, especially when the baby comes.